Hi everyone, Pam here from Creative Homescaping. Today I am finally ready to show you my home tour. I am doing this home tour as part of an open collaboration being hosted by Arlynn of Arlynn's Country Craft Corner and Kim of Sweet Daisy Creations. If you're not familiar with their channels, please check them out using the links below, as well as the collaboration playlist, which will also be linked when it's available. And now, stay tuned for my 2018 home tour. I hope you enjoy it. I am going to show you the tour during the day first, and then I will show you what everything looks like lit up at night. So when you first come into my house, here's my entryway table, and I have the candle rings I made on the candlesticks that I got from Costco. And it's a little hard to see them, but they are on and flickering right now. And then I just set this cross stitch picture here. I made this many years ago. I used to do a lot of cross stitch and needlepoint embroidery, and it's a kind of an old world Santa in a fancy sleigh. So I just put that in the center of the mirror. And then as we pan around, you can see another piece that I made up here on the wall. This one is actually needlepoint. I made this one when I was in high school. And then up on this upper banister, I have a quilt I made for Christmas time. I'll get a little closer. It's just a throw. And as you can see, it doesn't really have necessarily Christmas patterns in it. This I made out of remnants, actually. I worked at a fabric store when I was trying to save money for grad school, and they had a bunch of Christmas remnants that I just snapped up, and I just used muslin for the white part, but I put them all together to make this quilt. And this is all hand stitched, except for the binding. I did sew that on the machine. So I wanted to show you on my entryway buffet chest, there are 4 knobs, and this is usually where we hang our stockings. I only have one of them hung up right now. It's one of my daughter's penguin stockings. She has a few of them, but the others will go on these knobs since there's 4 of us in the family. That way we don't have to put hooks in our stone mantle. Now here's a look at the garland that I have run along the banisters. I used some starry lights that Arlynn had originally recommended, and they have a timer and a remote. And then I took lengths of that Costco ribbon that I bought, and I just looped it all around in the garland. And the garland I bought at Walmart, it was pretty sparse, so I actually doubled it over and it filled it out nicely. And then I made this big bow to put at the end. I was thinking of wrapping the garland around the newel post, but one of my cats, as I've mentioned before, likes to eat fake evergreen greenery, and as soon as I started doing that, he started nibbling on it. So I decided to just make some long tails and have them curl down around the post, so he can bat those if he wants to. But here's the bow. I have 4 different ribbons in here. I have a plaid, I have this damask ribbon which I had from before, and this is actually the right side, but it's shinier, and I like the way the reverse side looked with all of these new ribbons, so I turned it around. And then I have the poinsettia ribbon and then the pine cone ribbon in there. And I think I made a 16 loop bow for each of the newel posts. So you can see it goes all the way up and around. And here's a look at our main Christmas tree. It is an 8-foot tree that we got from Costco last year. I really like it because it has all different sorts of settings for the lights. You can have them all white, or you can have them multicolored, and you can have them moving in various patterns, but we like to have them still. And then I just have these, our club chairs with their Christmas pillows on them. I bought these from Pier 1. I think I got them after Christmas on clearance. I've been eyeing them, and then they had them, and I just love them. I used to have these chairs in our family room, and I would put them on them every Christmas. And now I'll show you our tree a little bit more up close. So at the top, it's a little hard to see, but there is a crystal tree topper up there. It's sort of a cranberry color with a clear spike on top. And then I made a topper just out of ribbons, similar to how I did on the penguin tree. And then below that, I added in some picks. And then once again, I did a random pattern of ribbon this year using the different ribbons that I showed you on the banister. And then the first thing we did was put on our big glass ornaments, and these were some we bought at Costco. It's got to have been at least 5 years ago now, but they had these big boxes of glass ornaments with these beautiful patterns on them. And that's when I changed the color scheme of our tree to kind of a golden coppery color. But they also came with some red ornaments like this one and this one. So I felt they would mix in really well with the ribbons because they do have the green and the gold and copper tones in there, but they also have the red. However, I'm using a different tree skirt. So it's amazing how much the ribbon changes the look of the tree from what it was before. So this year I'm using the tree skirt I made when we first moved into this house. And I had a pattern, cross-stitch pattern book that had these old world Santas. And I cross-stitched them. And then I cut them in ovals and applied them to the tree skirt at random intervals. Well, not random, I blocked them out. There's 5 of them, and then I had to leave an opening slit. And then there's one back here. And I applied them in ovals so they'd be like little cameos on the tree skirt. And then I had this holly berry fabric that I used for the main tree skirt, and then there's some gold lame trim. It already came ruffled like this. Let's see if I can get back up now. So I thought that would go really well with the ribbon, as it had the reds and greens and golds. So that's my tree. And I just added a few of the Costco birds into our bookcases. I actually kept my fall flower arrangement there and just surrounded it with some of the Costco birds. And then on top of the piano, I moved my candle holders that I made for the fall in front of these topiaries. And then I put our angel tree topper that we use when we have more of the golden copper theme. I put her in the center, sitting on top of some of the music books. And I'll scroll along over here. My daughter's oboe music. And then show you my other bookcase. And I have these red trees, feather trees. I got those on clearance after Christmas one year from Target. And then some more of the Target birds. I didn't bother changing out the candles because these particular birds, even though they're winter, they have colors in them that go with the apricot candles. So I didn't need to change out any of the colors. That way I could just add a few things into my normal decor. So that is it for my living room. And next we'll go into the dining room. Before we go into the dining room, I did want to show you my serpentine candle holder that I ended up putting on our coffee table in the living room. And you can see I've actually added in some greenery and some of this polka dot ribbon here, burlap ribbon, and some fairy lights so that it will tie in with the rest of the decor. And I also wanted to show you that I've changed out the pillows on my couch. These are actually pillow covers. So here is a penguin pillow that has colors that match our living room. And it is from Pier 1 a couple years ago, I think. Now my dining room is the one room I'm not quite done decorating. But I will show you what I have for the centerpiece so far. I'm using a gold damask tablecloth. I don't remember where I got this tablecloth, so I'm sorry. It might have been Target. But the other day I went into our TJ Maxx Home Goods Superstore with my daughter, and we found this velveteen table runner with this ruffle around the edge, and we thought that would be perfect for the colors that we're going for this year. And then here are my brass candle holders I polished the other day. And then here I have this little wire angel. I've had this over 20 years, kind of in a golden color. And she did not come with this on her head. This is actually meant to be a candle ring, but I don't have enough to put around all the candles. And I was trying to think of what I could do with it, and I thought, oh, that would make a good halo for the angel. It's trumpeting. So I put one on there. And then I have the centerpiece swag that I made over in another video. And then I have this golden deer. I've had these at least 20 years as well, and periodically I go through and update the bows, and this one still needs to have a little bit of fluffing, but it has some mesh ribbon on it and then some sheer gold ribbon, and then just a floral pick. And this is one of those twisted decorator loop type bows. I will be putting candles in my candlesticks. Show you from this angle. And then around the other side, another one of these angels with the candle ring halo. And then we'll move over to the wet bar. So I have this sign, Making Spirits Bright. I thought that was a good one to put up by the wet bar in case we do serve anything alcoholic during the holidays. And then my beverage dispenser. And we happen to have a blue penguin mug. And then I just put this little tray down as a drip tray. I think I got this at Target in the Target dollar spot one year. I have a couple other trays of different sizes that go with it. But then we move in here. And this used to have hot cocoa in it. I think we got it at Target one year, but now I thought it would make a perfect place to put the little napkins. And then we found these tins this year at Costco of hot cocoa. And then I found these tea tins at my local Sprouts. They came with a big box of tea. So I have those in there. And then up top, I put the Penguin hot chocolate with a little sign attached at the top, Happy Holidays. In the back, there's Elf hot chocolate, and then there's some more tea. This one's chamomile and peppermint and some other things. It's very nice in the evening before you head off to bed. Well, it's caffeine free. And then next to the little truck, I have this natural looking penguin. I think that came from Pier 1 a few years ago. A lot of the penguin things from Pier 1 we either give as Christmas presents to my daughter, or we buy them when they go on sale after Christmas. And then I've put the syrup back in a black and white pitcher. And then I've set up a little tray here. And it looks pretty similar to how it did for Halloween, except I'm using this plastic tray. It has a C on it for our last name, and then a couple of my daughter's ceramic penguin ornaments. And then on the Keurig, I have sitting one of our largest penguin mugs, and we're using it to catch drips and also to put, when the K-cups are done, you can put them in here and then just dump the whole thing rather than having to carry them dripping over to the trash can. And I do wash that periodically, by the way. It just happened to have been used this morning, so it had caught some drips. Then on the wall going into the kitchen, we have this penguin plaque, or a metal artwork piece. You can see. And then a pan around the kitchen, you can see my garden window. I showed you that in another video. And then my family room. I'll pan around first, and then I'll show you each item as we get to it. Okay, so this is my little project desk area. And I just put this tree. I usually have this in my kitchen window, but since I went with penguins this year, I am move to this angle here. You can see it better. I'm using it on my desk. And then here's a look at the love seat in the family room. These are our normal pillows, but I've added this penguin pillow in the center here. And then on the end table, I have this little tray. It matches the one by the wet bar. And then this snowboarding penguin. And then on the chairs, I've added these two sequin pillows. They're those mermaid type pillows, I think they call them. They can be plain penguin and a plain snowman, or you can have them with the Santa hats on them. And then here's the coffee table. This is, I won't play it for you, but it is a piece that Hallmark had a few years ago, and it plays Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, and the little penguins jingle the jingle bells. And then this is an Advent wreath, and I have it sitting on another one of those penguin plates, just so it's easy to move around. Not that it's hard, but it's straw, so it'll make kind of a mess. I made this wreath, Advent wreath, almost 30 years ago. We first heard about Advent wreaths when my brother, who is a pilot in the Air Force, was stationed in Germany. And what it is a wreath that lays down on the table, and it has 4 candles in it, and you light a candle the 4 Sundays before Christmas. So the first Sunday you light 1 candle, then you light 2 candles, and 3 and 4, etc., till all 4 are lit. And then this is a snow globe that has penguins on it, and it lights up. And it also plays music. I won't play the music for you, but I did put the lights on. And now here is a look at the fireplace area, all done. As you can see, I added quite a bit to my mantle from when I first showed it to you. But I'll start on the left with the tree that we decorated together. I haven't really changed this at all from what I showed you. The little penguins on the floor are actually cat toys. And over here at the bottom of the fireplace, I have 2 candle holders and 2 lanterns, and then in the center I have this basket with the pine cones that I found on my walk and that I baked. And I just mixed them in with these snowball puffs I got from the Target dollar spot. So it looks kind of like a basket of pine cones and snowballs. I was thinking I might put the snowballs in the tree, but they didn't look quite right, so I thought they looked nice in this basket. And down here in the lantern, there's a little snowy owl sitting on some polyfill filler. I was just able to fit that inside the lantern. And then I have candle rings I showed in a haul on my white candlesticks. And then I have another candle on the white candle on this red candlestick. And that's actually a pick, but it happened to have wire rings, and I bent the wire rings to fit around the candle. And then the other side is exactly the same, another little owl. And candles. And then over here I have one of my outdoor folding tables with a penguin tree skirt on top of it. I didn't use this tree skirt on the tree because this is meant for a very large tree, but I wanted to get it for my daughter when I saw it, because you never know when you might find a penguin tree skirt. So I'm just using it as a little tablecloth here. It didn't quite reach the ground, so I used a length of polyfill batting that's meant for quilting around the base. I have that on hand. And then many years ago, when my daughter was very little, we got this penguin on clearance after Christmas at Target. And she called it variously, sometimes Steam, sometimes Hot Cocoa. So its name is either Steam or Hot Cocoa. And this is my TV table, and I just have a little igloo down here, and inside the igloo there are various little penguin toys, and she used to play with that a lot when she was little. And now here's my mantle with the penguin wreath I made as in another video. And then you'll notice I added quite a bit to the mantle, so I'll start at this end. I found these white trees at the Target dollar spot. I did not show this in a haul. I also found these little, I think these trees were $3, and the little ornament packet was I can't remember if it was $1 or $3, but that's one packet on that tree, and then there's another tree at the other end. And then I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought a tube of red ornaments, a tube of silver and gold ornaments, and then a packet of jingle bells, and I made clusters of ornaments out of them and attached them onto the garland at the ribbon places where I had attached the ribbon. And then we already had these little penguin stockings, so I just put those at some of the ornament cluster spots. We happen to have 2 pale blue ones and then 2 of these. And the same on the other side. And then I had enough to make some extra ornament clusters, so I just put them along at intervals along the mantle. And then I had 2 of these white snowflakes left over from my kitchen window garland. So I just rested them up against these candles. And the candles are on, but it's a little hard to see because it's daytime. Like I said, I'll show you some images at night too. So that's our fireplace area. Now you've seen my kitchen window before, but I've added some little vignettes over to the side. So I thought I would take you into the kitchen and show you those. They're in this corner here by my microwave. So my husband likes to have oatmeal with craisins in it and some peanut butter in the morning. Usually I keep this jar container turned around so you can't see the penguin, but I did turn it around for Christmas time. And that penguin actually goes with one of the penguin cookie jars I'm going to show you in a second. So this penguin matches the one that's in the kitchen window, but if you notice, it got broken at one point. So we were able to find another one, but I do still use this. And then I have this little gourd penguin that was a gift to my daughter from somebody. I can't remember if it was my mother or my sister, but somebody gave that to her, I believe. And then here's the penguin set that matches the one on the glass jar. There's a little salt and pepper shaker. I don't have anything in those right now. And then here's a little mug. And in the mug we have this Santa scraper, and there is a penguin scraper, but I think it's in a bin from my daughter being away at college, so I have to look at that. This penguin scraper, or rubber spatula, whatever you want to call it, this is new this year. It was at Pier 1, so we got it to go with the other ones. And then there's another cookie jar. And then I have a couple more things in my kitchen that are penguin. So at the Target dollar spot this year, they happen to have these grocery lists that had little penguins at the bottom, so I thought that would be perfect. I keep it on the refrigerator for. And then the very last thing is this penguin dish towel, which I found at Home Goods last year. And I think we either bought them when I found them or I gave them to my daughter as a Christmas gift. I can't remember. It was a year ago. But my daughter also loves Kate Spade, and so she has these Kate Spade dish towels, and this penguin one matches it perfectly. And the last room I thought I'd show you is in my guest bathroom. I decided just to hang the rag wreath I made on top of this existing wrought iron piece. And then on the back of the door I have this Let It Snow sign. I picked that up last year. And then as I come around to the counter, I took that little blue truck I found in the fall, and I have some little disposable cups in there with a few little ornaments, since I have kind of blue accents in my guest suite. And then I have this Mary Cookie soap dispenser, and then this little area set up over here with these pine tree ombre candles I've had for many, many years. I do light the wicks when I put out candles. My mother told me it looks better that way, but I don't actually ever light these because I want to use them as decoration. So that's it for my guest suite. Thanks so much for watching, and a big thank you to Kim and Arlynn. And I do have more decorating videos coming up, so I hope you'll come back and check them out. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, you can do so by clicking the subscribe button down below. I want to wish all of you who've watched my video a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Holiday Season. Take care, everyone.